Power of the pause. Today's conversation is about leaning into the white space that helps us tune into the resonance of our hearts. And to talk through this, I have with me a person who helped me tune in to the resonance of my heart by helping me put words to what I was feeling. She's no other than my English teacher from way back in high school, Benita Patnaik. Welcome, ma'am. I'm so glad that you're here with me for this conversation because it feels like such a life coming full circle kind of a moment. So, thank you for willing to do this with me.
You're welcome, Sanjana. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I have a lot of interesting touch points, and let's dive into it. But before we do, I'd like to share a little bit about you with the audience. Benita has been in academia for more than a decade. She has served as a director of education. And beyond that, she has an amazing creative side. She has written and published 5 books over the last few years. She writes beautiful poetry that is put to music, and overall, just seems extremely fascinating with how you've chosen to lean into your creative side. So, thank you once again for willing to share some of those experiences with me and the audience today.
Thank
Uh,
you, Sanjana.
I would like to start off by talking about one memory that I have of you, and this was the 10th grade final examination. And I was super nervous because English always seemed daunting with all these big essays that we had to write. And I was very nervous about that exam. But you coached me about, how to write. So it wasn't just the grammatical piece of it, it wasn't the sentence structures or any of that, but you talked about how to listen to what I'm really feeling and draw from that to actually write my essays. So I came out of that exam hall, and usually everyone is exchanging notes and saying, okay, what was the answer to this and what did you write for that? And in that moment, I saw you standing out there. And the only question you asked me, you pointed to your heart and said, did you write from here? And that was such a moment for me because at the crux of it, it comes down to just that is going inward and truly feeling your own resonance. So that's a sentence that stuck with me for a long time. And even today, when I'm going through life and I'm at a point where something is not working or not making sense, I think about that. I just put my hand on my heart and think about, okay, am I approaching this from my heart center? So thank you so much for that one sentence, but it did become a life learning for me. So given that background, I'd like to ask, what does, writing from the heart actually mean to you now that you're few books into, your writing journey and you've written so many poems? What does it really mean to you when we say tuning into your heart and writing from the soul, maybe?
My latest book of poetry is The Mind, Body, and Soul,
Oh, wow.
right? Yeah. So it's actually, I have never published a poetry book as such. This is the first time I did so because I think my daughter said there's a competition and you have to write a poem, 1 poem per day or something like that.
Okay.
And you just get into it because I had just finished my fourth book
Mm-hmm.
and I was in a blank space. I was not able to create anymore.
Okay.
So she said, because you're stuck over there, try this.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, so I tried that and it came out, and then out of it, that book came off because they
Mhm.
published it because I completed that 21
Okay.
poems.
All right.
So, but this mind, body, and soul is something which I've been very, very fascinated from my eighth grade.
Okay.
I used to study in a convent school that time,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a German principal,
Okay.
and I think she inspired me
Mm.
because she found that I could write, and she made me, play around with words. And from then on, I've been writing, but I've never published. The first time I'm publishing. So, your initial question was, do I write from my heart? I do, always. But I have lots of fight with my mind
Okay.
while I'm writing. Yeah. There's, uh, like, we are talking about, I must have told you when you were in school that in an essay you must have a beginning and a middle and an
Yes.
end,
Yes.
right? So, uh, I still follow that.
Mm-hmm.
In my practice of creating anything,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's just a small essay or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized that once I get the idea comes from somewhere. It could be anywhere. Okay, it could be, I'm just walking on the road and I see, that safe door was open.
Mm-hmm.
And then it keeps popping in, okay, and fighting with me. And my mind says I can't write a book on that
Okay.
because it's so inane, so mundane or whatever.
Yeah.
But my heart will always say, you just wait and see, you just give me some time and I'll create something out of it. And
Oh,
it happens, Sanjana. It always happens
that's beautiful.
that whenever logic says that you can't do it, there
Mm-hmm.
is something inside you.
Mm-hmm.
Every person, I think, has this that I'm going to prove that logic wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a negative way, I know. But sometimes the heart will say, just give me some space and time, and I will show you what I can do. And it can. Okay, that's what I feel. Till now, my heart has ruled my head quite a bit.
Yeah. But
And the soul is there, of course.
yes. So,
I think that's the soul which puts that idea into your mind.
yeah, that's a nice way of looking at it. So,
Yeah.
do you think this approach works in life too, to not always be heavily reliant on the logic or the logistics
Logic.
of things, but, make almost every decision from the heart?
Mm, I won't be honest if I said that because I've lived quite a few decades now, and there have been many a times I've made plenty of mistakes because I've worked from the heart, because I've believed in my heart. Okay, it doesn't work always.
Mm,
Yes, not from life perspective. Sometimes it is necessary that you should, be able to anticipate things which comes from logic, not from heart.
right.
Okay? So it's good to have a balance.
Mm.
But I am very pro heart.
Yes, I've
Yeah.
always felt that about you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think it comes down to having a balance, like with anything in
Yeah.
life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, as you've navigated life, like you said, you've lived a few decades, and I'm sure you've navigated several kinds of life situations, personally, professionally. So, do you think your creativity has been an anchor point, something that's helped ground you and keep you on the right path?
I think so. Yes. Uh, it has not only been an anchor point, it has changed me. It has developed me into somebody else. I remember me as a 17-year-old, and I remember me as a 25-year-old, and I can see the difference, it has made in me. Every time I create, whether it's a book or, a small haiku for Instagram post or something, it is impromptu most of the time. But before I let other people into that world, I do edit it.
Right.
Okay. And I research it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I research it, I think I learn and I improve
Mm-hmm.
in my ideas, maybe for not that particular, you know, life, this thing, but it could be for my future work.
Right.
That too.
Yeah, so it sets maybe like a reference point for something or the other in
Yes.
life.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
correct. So, yes, there have been times, when I've been desperately unhappy
Mm.
or desperately anxious, not
Mm-hmm.
unhappy, anxious. And that's the time when I need to be creative.
Mm-hmm.
It takes me out of that particular, shape or whatever form and puts me into another form. And
Yeah.
it feels good. And I forget this.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, I think
Again, negative attitude, but yeah,
yeah,
it
but
works.
most creative endeavors, I think, have a way of just making your hearts, sing, and that
Yeah,
helps you, if not completely come out of, a negative situation, but at least gives you the confidence and the bandwidth to manage that
yeah,
and deal with it differently.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That confidence part is something which I always believed in. And I've
Mm-hmm.
seen it in you when you were a child, and I've seen it in many of the, I mean, I will not take names, but I've had some 300, 400 students passing out of me,
Mm-hmm.
through me. And there have been girls, girls I'm talking about, who have been very, what do you say, non-ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at that age, of course.
Right.
And I used to feel I have two daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have always been, and I am myself a part of a two-daughter family.
Okay.
Okay, so we were brought up. I mean, my generation, there was a lot of divide between boys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but my father somehow made us think that we are as good, if not better.
Mm.
So I think I followed that with my two kids, and I've given them the freedom. Of course, your generation is different. You have a much more open outlook, so it was not difficult for me.
Yeah.
Um, but I've seen some girls, like I was saying, who even at that age, 13, 14 years, were only interested that they pass out and they get married and have a family.
Yeah.
I said, but are you being honest to yourself?
Mm.
You're not being honest to yourself, right? Yeah, marriage is important, children are important, family is important. But is that the be all and end all of any human being, whether
Right.
it's a man or a woman?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm happy that some of them have come out of that and have made successful lives of their own. And
Yeah.
I feel
Yes.
very proud seeing them,
Mhm.
as if they're my own children.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I think we're
Mm,
so conditioned by society. Of course, like you said, we're very lucky that things have changed
yeah,
a lot for us. But
yeah,
I remember, like, even today, it's very different from what it was even a decade ago. The conditioning
yeah,
has been very strong for
absolutely.
women, I think, especially in our country. So it takes time to break out of that mold, which has been set as the normal for so long. But
So
like you said, that can go hand in hand with, your dreams and aspirations as well.
it's very, very necessary, to have something that is you,
Yeah, absolutely.
not not just a part of society or a part of your parents or a part of your friends or whatever. It's
Mm.
something which is you.
Yes. Yeah. So if I had to lean into that thought and ask, who are you? Minus all the busy life and all these labels that we hold with our, friends or society, in that white space, in your own blank space, who are you?
Mm, I know, maybe uh, I'm a very lonely person.
Mhm.
Okay, first thing. I love silence.
Mhm.
Okay, I need to have silence. I travel a lot, Sanjana.
Mhm.
Okay, and I always make it a point never to travel in a group. I go
Okay.
with my family most of the time,
Mhm.
mostly with my husband, where we go on road trips abroad.
Okay.
So that's when you can be totally, totally alone.
Yeah.
I remember we had gone on a road trip in New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
And the roads there, you don't find anything over there. For miles, there will be nothing there except the lovely scenery.
Right.
So if I were to say that um, I'm a lonely person in a positive way,
Okay.
okay, I what do you say, suck in a lot of my creative instincts
Mm-hmm.
out of quietness.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time when, when you're in your 30s and 40s, when it is necessary that you must go for a weekend party. And we used
Right.
to have lots of parties.
Yeah.
And I used to go because it was a part of your life or
Mm.
whatever. But I remember I used to love coming back home.
Okay.
Okay. Because of the noise used to suffocate me.
Mm-hmm.
So it is actually now that I'm able to, not, I mean, I'm old enough not to indulge in the fact that I need to go for a party or I need to socialize or something, that I'm really blossoming into whatever I feel I should be.
Mm-hmm.
That so
Yeah.
I'm quiet. I'm not actually an introvert, although I have been called that.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever somebody wants to talk with me, I can talk.
Yeah.
There's no problem with
But
that.
you're perfectly comfortable
But
and happy enjoying your own
yeah,
company.
right. That's what my yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So I'd like to go back a little bit to our conversation because that's playing in my head. What you said about conditioning and how, life has been for a lot of people. So, do you think that when there is a lack of creativity or lack of expression, it's not because it doesn't exist in a person, but it's more because they aren't the right conditions for them to actually feel safe to express it. So I'm wondering whether it's not lack of ideas, but it's actually lack of room to actually feel safe in expression.
Absolutely. I always feel everyone is creative.
Mm.
All of us are creative in our own way. It could be just, creating a new dish out of something, of suji.
Yeah.
Okay. But when there are a lot of things in your head,
Hmm.
it clutters the whole, the white space maybe,
Yeah.
or clutters your whole creative world.
Mm.
And it's not easy to be able to declutter what is it that you actually want to do.
Mm.
And you should want to do what you want to be creative.
Yeah.
So that's very important. I think, yes, it is the conditions which does not allow us to go into whatever field we want to.
Mm.
Uh, I think the generation before you, maybe it was mine, it was very important that you should study and become a doctor or an engineer.
Yeah, those were the only two options that people had.
Yeah. So that's so sad because I have many of my classmates who've become engineers, but they don't do anything about engineering. They have struck out in different fields.
Yes,
Okay, but the basic education has not given them. I mean, you're wasting 5 years of your life
that's true.
not doing what you want.
Yes, I did
Just
that.
because, exactly. So that happens like that, when
Yeah.
I myself had gone into architecture.
Mm.
Thankfully, I think within the one year I did of architecture.
Mm.
And then I decided that I didn't want to. I want to be creative. I love drawing, I love building. But then, when you go into the nitty-gritties of what a good architect has to be,
Right.
it is more of, selling yourself, more of showing people how creative you are.
Mm.
And that's something you need other people.
Right.
And like I said, I'm a lonely person.
Yeah.
So I shocked my parents and I said that I know I want to do English.
Yeah.
And they were disappointed, but
Mhm.
they supported me.
Well, I'm glad you
But
had the courage to just voice, your true feelings. I wanted to go into
yeah,
arts too, right after
yeah,
10th grade. And I remember
right.
telling my parents, they were pretty open to it. Like, they
Uh-huh.
weren't very conditioned in that way, saying you have to do
Mm-hmm.
this or that. And I managed to convince them, saying I wanted to do arts. But I remember they were called into the principal's office and actually counseled, saying, no,
Mm,
she's bright, she's intelligent, she can become an engineer, like, why not?
correct.
And unfortunately, at that time, they were influenced and I was influenced, and it almost felt like you're wasting your life if you're going to do arts or something else.
Do
So
something else. Yeah,
I went the regular course, studied maths,
yeah.
physics, and chemistry, became
Mm,
an engineer. But at the end of the course, I said, there's no way I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. It was good in a way, it was a reality check for me, but at least I made that decision saying, no, this is not the course of my
mm,
life, and I'm going to go do something else, just do something different. But it worked
mm.
out well. So I'm grateful
Okay.
for that experience too. Um, well, today we live in a very, very loud world, right? It's very chaotic, right from the sounds that we hear the minute we step out onto the street, whether we're on our devices on social media. I feel like our minds are so constantly cluttered. It's difficult to find time for white space. But also, sometimes I wonder, do you think we've kind of become scared to actually have silence, have stillness, because we don't know what it is to just be with ourselves or listen to the dialogue that goes on inside?
Yeah. In fact, I see that a lot in my in the younger generation, the
Mhm.
generation which is older to you but younger than me.
Okay.
I have a lot of cousins in that age group,
Mm-hmm.
and I see I have this cousin who, when he got married, said, that I do not want to have children.
Okay.
Okay, so I was surprised that his wife, because he had a love marriage, agreed to it because normally women do want children,
Mm-hmm.
but they decided and they don't have children. That's
Mm-hmm.
fine. But whenever I meet them, there's a kind of frenzied energy within them.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing this and they're doing that, and they're going on some diet, going traveling, going this. What are they trying? There is no space, no time for them to relax. They're not sitting anywhere or speaking. Even when they come home, they will, we're going to do this, do this, do this, and we are going now.
Yeah, we're always on a clock.
Yeah, always on a clock. So I feel they are scared of silence.
Mm.
Absolutely. And for me, it's different because I love silence, like I told you.
Yeah.
So I'm not scared of being by myself. But yes, I have seen it a lot in many people. Like I said, my cousins, my friends. Uh, it is necessary for them to have people in the house. I have another friend um, who loves to have guests staying in her house because she cannot bear the silence because the children have left home and she's alone. So she keeps inviting her people to come because she does not want silence. I said, why not? Why can you not just be silent?
Yeah.
नहीं नहीं मैं तो म्यूजिक सुनती हूँ. I put on the music when my husband leaves home because I cannot bear it. I don't need that for this. I can stay without music. I do like music, but I need a particular time to listen to music. I can't have music in the background and be cooking.
Okay.
That there are a lot of people who love that. In
Mm.
fact, my husband loves it.
Mm-hmm.
If he is cooking, he wants some noise somewhere.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's
Yeah,
different.
everyone has
A
different
different fun.
expressions.
Yeah. But yes, you're right that people nowadays are scared of silence, scared of being themselves, scared of facing their truth. Truth is
Mm.
always uncomfortable.
Right.
Okay, it makes you feel uh, maybe this is not what I should be doing, maybe I should be doing that. And there are so many questions which silence brings to your head.
Mm.
So, yes, they are scary.
Yeah. I think just our own inner dialogue sometimes can be scary because at the end of the day, your heart knows what your brain probably tries to silence. Like, we talked about even in the beginning. It's always the heart that keeps telling you the truth. And I think when we go silent, we create room to actually hearing that truth. And that truth can come in many ways. It can be regrets, it can be guilt, it can be, wondering about a path that you never took. So maybe we've gotten used to silencing all that by creating noise in other forms and fashions. Yeah. Um, do you think your definition of productivity has probably changed over the years, given that you like the silence, you like being by yourself? In modern world, productivity is constantly being busy or having a full calendar or going from engagement to engagement. So what is a productive day or a productive week for you?
Okay. For me, productivity is not being busy.
Mm.
Okay. Now, suppose I were to take an example of writing a book. Okay. Now, for me to be productive in that book could be I have written a whole chapter and I have reread it, erased the whole thing, created a new chapter out of it. That is but I'm satisfied with it. That is my productivity.
Mm.
And I need this, um, I cannot multitask when I am writing something. Okay, if I'm writing, I'm in another world. So it's very important for me to um, have that silence. Okay, and like you said, because we are so busy trying to be busy,
Yeah.
trying to put thing into our world or consciousness or psyche, that we miss out on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Okay, it's something like you wake up in the morning um, and you look at the sun rising. Do you have the time to appreciate that beauty?
Mm.
Most young people don't because they're busy.
Yeah.
They're busy, could be inane busy, could be important busy.
Mm.
Okay, but they're busy. So productivity is, I think, not connected with being busy. Productivity is more when you have a structured a frame within your psyche where you realize that today's productivity might be different from tomorrow's. And today my frame is this, this, and this. Tomorrow the frame might be different.
Correct.
Did that answer your question?
Yes, of course.
Sort of.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I like how you said that good can look different every single day. And we don't have to have a standard benchmark or something that we need to achieve on a daily basis. But also being productive, I think, comes down to how satisfied you feel at the end of the day,
Yeah.
whether it's a task that you spend 5 minutes on or whether you spend 5 hours on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly what I wanted to say.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a
Yeah.
little bit about your books. How did that whole endeavor start? When did you decide that you wanted to write stories and that you actually wanted to publish?
Actually, I've been writing blogs for many years before I started writing a
Mm-hmm.
book. And this book thing started something my husband, I think, told me, why don't you write a book? Why do you keep writing these blogs,
Mm-hmm.
short humorous things? So I think that started that cycle. It took me almost 10 years before I wrote my first book,
Okay.
before I published my first book. I
Mm-hmm.
used to write on and off. I had the book, I had my folder ready and the name of the book and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I had my whatever, storyline
Mm-hmm.
behind which I was to write. But those are the days when I used to be really busy, busy.
Okay.
Okay, when I did not get my silence and
Yeah.
uh, whatever to
Mm-hmm.
push me into it. So it was much later after the children left home
Okay.
that, and my husband used to be very busy with his career,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a lot of time.
Okay.
And I had shifted from Hyderabad
Mm-hmm.
that time. I'd gone up to Mumbai. Mumbai is a very lonely city.
I've heard many people say that.
Yeah. So it is only when you go out for a drink in the restaurant or a dinner, it is you're close. But at home, you're lonely. And
Mm.
no one asks you anything. Neighbors don't know whether you exist or not.
Mm.
And that's when I seriously started mm, thinking that I should do something which I love doing.
Okay.
That that's when I started. And then
And
I have, yeah, that,
no, so in that
that,
moment, what was the first book that you wanted to publish? Like, tell me a little bit about
yeah.
what you wrote.
Okay, that first book was called The Real Dreams.
Okay.
Okay, so it's about two parallel characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's about one who's a modern, young working girl, and one who is from the village.
Interesting.
And okay, and both have their own dreams in two separate ways.
Yeah,
And it is their
their
story,
reality. Mm-hmm.
their reality, how they come to it, how it, and it is. Their worlds don't merge or mix.
Mm-hmm.
They're two different people, two different stories. That's all.
Oh, I love
But
that.
I have one thing. Yeah, see if you have the time and read it. It was my
Yes.
first effort. So there might be, some lacunas here and there, but
No, of course, I'd
I
love
still
to
think
read it.
it's, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. And I have this thing, I have a sixth sense
Mm-hmm.
right from the time I was a child.
Okay.
Okay, so it's been, I believe in ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I believe in spirits.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in another world, in a parallel world. In fact, my website is known as the parallel world.
Wow.
Okay, just so that I feel that there are, I mean, whether the spirits are there or not, but there's definitely a parallel universe somewhere
Yeah.
where I am there doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, there are
that's it.
infinite possibilities of what could be out there.
Yes, yeah. So in all my books, and especially this book, there's a lot of paranormal thing in it.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, was it my second or the third book? It's a collection of short stories. It's called Dare Me and Other Stories,
Okay.
and it's about this paranormal things which have actually happened to me or
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of them. So
Okay.
they're actually real life stories.
Mm.
So the other two are just normal detective stories.
Okay.
No
No,
paranormal this thing in
yeah.
it.
What's your
But
favorite genre to
yeah,
write about?
I think I love detective stories.
Okay. Thrillers,
I'm a big fan of Agatha Christie. I've grown up with her.
reading Agatha Christie.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I don't write like her, obviously. So,
No, but you write
but I do
beautifully. I
like,
remember even, reading a few of your short stories, and it's a very seamless writing style that you have that kind of puts the reader in the moment, like
yeah,
you're,
okay, yeah,
watching from the
uh,
sidelines. I guess
yeah,
that's what you look for in an experience when you want to be immersed in a book.
yeah. But I do love the paranormal.
Okay. Have you written
because I really
about?
believe in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have
Okay.
I written about?
Have you written about maybe romance or those kinds of themes?
Hmm. I love reading romantic books.
Hmm.
Okay. But somehow, and especially for the modern reader, where romance is not so much about the romance I understand. And they want, I mean, I've thought about writing it, but like I've got a feedback from other people that you are never able to write a sex scene properly, and that has to be there.
Yeah, I think
So,
it's become a must-have, whether it's a romance
yeah,
novel or a TV series. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's
So that's something I'm a little uncomfortable with.
okay.
So maybe till I'm able to get over that, I will not be able to write
Are you working on
romance.
anything right now? Do you have something in the works?
Yes,
Hmm.
I do have something, but it's too early to say,
Too
just
early to
my
talk about it.
foundation bit. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
and your books are available on
So,
Amazon, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
They're done.
I have some travels coming up, so I'll maybe buy a couple
Sure.
of them and have it
Yeah.
as my reading material for the trip.
But you must read my Dare Me, okay? I
Okay.
really love it
Okay.
because they're short. You can
Hmm.
finish it in one
Yeah.
go, and it makes you think.
Yeah. I'll definitely
It's,
read that
uh,
one. Okay,
yeah,
so coming back to probing the English teacher inside you, talking about white space and stillness and just that room for, taking a breath, maybe. Would you see that more as a comma, maybe something that's a short pause, or do you see that more as a period, a full stop to, one way of living or one experience before we start another one in this human experience?
comma.
Okay.
I- Yeah, I believe it's a comma because it should be a short pause. Because if you take a longer pause, again, I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about general people,
Hmm.
because I can have as long a pause as you want. But I think for a younger person to move forward, the
Hmm.
pause should not be too long
Okay.
because sometimes, a pause can create cobwebs
Mm.
if it's a very long one. And then it becomes sticky and messy and it's difficult to remove
Get
it
out of
to
it.
declutter. Yeah,
Yeah, that's an
that's what I
interesting
think.
thought. Thank you. Well, this was a great conversation. I am so glad that, you were agreeing to do this with me and that when I shot you a
Yeah.
message, it was almost like, is she even going to remember me? And then you responded almost immediately saying, of course, I remember you. So it feels really nice to know that you can tap into a relationship that was so old and still share some meaningful moments decades later. So thank you so much. And I'm
Thank you,
glad you
Sanjana.
took the
It was
time.
really good.
Yes.
Yeah, and I hope you're not going through any pause at this moment.
No,
And
quite the contrary, actually. I feel
yeah,
like, this year that they're saying is the year of the fire
the
horse.
horse,
I feel
fire
like
horse.
I'm feeling all that momentum and there's a lot going on. This
Yeah,
podcast, too, I feel like my
yeah.
creativity has kind of gone into high gear after a very long time.
Oh,
So I'm writing
that's good.
again and I'm being creative.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely not pausing right now. I do definitely pause within each day to just reflect and,
Yeah,
introspect and have that moments of silence. Like you, I enjoy silence as well. And I find that through my yoga and meditation and just being out in nature. So I feel like those small pauses during the day are important and
yeah.
they
They're
keep me
important.
very grounded.
Yeah,
So I enjoy
yeah,
that time.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Well, so we
Lovely.
live in a world, I think, which loves exclamation marks and run on
Yeah.
sentences, but I think it's about learning to love your pause, learning to love that comma, and learn from it and move on from there with more renewed energy. So,
Right.
thank you, ma'am. This was a great conversation. And for those of you listening in, learn to love your own comma, and I'll see you next time.